5-minute forex scalping. Can you actually make money? I'm going to show you my strategy and live trades as well. Stay tuned. Five-minute scalping, how do we do it? So analyzing, we want to analyze, previous area of sensitivity. So it was trending towards the upside very nicely. Now it's starting to trend towards the downside, right? So this move over here, if we just quickly highlight it, this one and this candlestick over here, what does it show? It shows that there was a break. It was trending towards the upside every single time, right? Every time it touched this line over here, it respected it and shot towards the upside. Simple. So it's shooting towards the upside very nicely. And now sell pressure was found in around this area zone. There was a lot of sellers in this area and started its push towards the downside. And with a bearish engulfing candle close, bearish engulfing candle meaning it swallows the previous candlestick, so the red one swallowed the blue one in this case, shooting towards the downside. A good confirmation that the trend direction has now changed from the upside to the downside. So what do we want to do as 5-minute scalpers? We want to sell our trades at the moment. If we see the market is actually not giving us a bearish engulfing candle or is not in an area of sensitivity, we might want to wait or go inside lower time frames to find a entry. So in this case, the previously respected zone was around this area. We can drag this, and as you can see it multiple times he has touched and some sort of movement was happening, right? So this area of sensitivity is important. That's why we want to mark it, just in case the market decides to shoot towards the upside now, reaching this trend line over here and this area of horizontal sensitivity. This crossover would be where we would want to enter if we were entering on the 5-minute time frame. Now, to clearly understand everything a little bit more, we might need an indicator. I like using moving averages, RSI indicators, MACD, but in this case I'm going to use the 2 moving averages. These are my favorite, 25 and 50. When I'm scalping, when I'm swing trading, these are my go-to indicators. So what do they show actually? They show the trend direction, right? So after the candlesticks break the lines, both the 25 and 50 line towards the downside, we know that bearish pressure is definitely there. Bearish pressure meaning sell pressure. So there is a current move towards the downside. Probably after a huge push, there's going to be some sort of exhaustion. This area zone over here is where we would love to enter a scalp trade towards the downside on the Euro USD currency pair. However, I did say we're going to do some live scalping today, and it seems like it's going to continue to shoot down. But why? Because the GDP numbers has just came out for the US dollar. Annual GDP numbers, they came out positive, even though there's coronavirus and all sorts. GDP numbers came out positive, which means more than likely the euro will lose strength and US dollar is gaining strength and momentum. So now if we head over to the 1-minute time frame, as you can see, it's currently shooting towards the downside very nicely. All we need to do now on the 1-minute or the 5-minute is identify an area of support, because the push is there. As you can see, it's pushing towards the downside very nicely. More than likely will continue its push towards the downside towards this area of support. So if we're open our MetaTrader 4 now, as you can see, it's trending towards the downside. I'm going to be placing a 5 lot size trade as a sell trade. And there we go. I'm not going to put any stop losses whatsoever. I'm looking at the charts at the moment, and as you can see, $50, 85, 95, 120, and it's shooting towards the downside. As I said, fundamental analysis plus technical analysis is what makes you money. 120. We can keep this trade running a little bit more because it's likely going to reach these 2 bottoms where my cursor is. As you can see, the first bottom, second bottom, very likely it will retest this area zone. So we'll see if that happens, but currently $70 in profit, which is what I like to see on the Euro USD currency pair. So as you can see, it's playing around 100 zone, 125. I'm gonna just close off this trade at the moment because I am expecting some sort of pullback. So let's go back to the charts. As you can see, it's shooting towards the downside over here. Huge push towards the downside, showing a bearish momentum. However, there is a support, as I said, in these area zones. If we just use the highlighter tool, this is the first zone, This is the second zone over here, which shows that there is a support in these area zones. More than likely, it will find a area of support once again. So as you can see, it's currently finding some sort of bullish pressure. It did not yet reach this area zone, but it is finding it. It's around this area zone. That's why I never draw support or resistance as a line. I always draw it like this, you know, with the rectangle tool, because it's an area zone, not a area line. It's never an exact price level. It's always an area zone, which you have to expect. So currently shooting back towards the upside. Now this gives us another opportunity to enter if we just stay a little bit more patient. As I always say, what's the next move? There's a push, there's an exhaustion, there's a push again, there's an exhaustion to the previous area of sensitivity, which would be this area zone, and then push towards the downside once again. So this is what's currently happening, right? Push, exhaustion, push, probably an exhaustion to the previous area of sensitivity, which could be this horizontal area of sensitivity, this trend line over here, or the moving averages. So we have like three confluences that we are looking for. If it shoots towards the upside, reaches this zone and give us a bearish engulfing candle on the 5-minute or at least the 1-minute time frame, we could potentially go short even more. But as I said, GDP numbers for the US dollar came out positive, so we might not even see an exhaustion, because fundamental events control the forex markets, right? So what do? We are waiting for some sort of exhaustion. So on the 1-minute time frame, we did have an exhaustion till the moving average line. We can place another trade over here. Let's have a look at the 2-minute. 2-minute is developing a bearish engulfing candle as well, which is a good indication that sell pressure is probably here. It pulled back towards this area line, which once again does show that sell pressure is definitely there. Ideally, we want to wait for this timer to end as a bearish engulfing candle. Then we could potentially short this trade once again and make money. So while we wait, to make sure to comment down below what videos you would like to see next. As you can see, bearish engulfing candle nearly in 15 seconds time. If this closes as a bearish engulfing candle on the 2-minute time frame, I am entering short once again. So it closed up. There we go. We're going short once again. 5 lot size, obviously insane lot sizes, because I have a big account balance. I'm not scared to lose it. However, this is the way you should scalp if you ever scalp in the forex market. Scalping is obviously risky as well, but let's see how it does. Minus 25, minus 30, minus 10, minus 5. Let's see if we can see some profit very soon. Obviously, I'm expecting the market to push towards the downside once again, towards this area zone. As you can see, where the bottoms are, the first bottom, second bottom, I'm pretty sure it will continue to go down. $65 in profit, $70 in profit, 80. If we can get another 100, that would be very nice indeed. Let's see, 85 at the moment, 75, 90. So yeah, 100. I'll take the money any day. $100 once again. So 2 times we were profitable in this scalping session at the moment. Let's try to continue a little bit more. So what's currently happening? We got a bearish engulfing candle. It does show bearish pressure. We did close off our trade a little bit, $100 in profit. It's probably going to continue to push towards the downside, towards these area zones, as I said, because these are the previous area zones where the market was respected the most. As you can see, the GDP numbers I was talking about, gross domestic product, annualized, third quarter, 33.4%. So green on this website definitely means positive, and that's why I'm trading short trades with technical analysis and fundamental analysis as well. So as you can see, it's trending towards the downside. Bearish engulfing candle shooting towards the downside, made a new lower low as well. What does a lower low mean? If we just zoom in very quickly, this low is now lower than the previous low. That's all it means, and this shows that the bearish momentum is still continuing. So let's have a look now at the 5-minute time frame and see if we can spot anything interesting. So we can see definite a push towards the downside. We did not have yet a proper exhaustion. That's what I'm scared of. Usually after a huge push like this, there's an exhaustion to the previous area sensitivity. Once we get a bearish engulfing candle confirmation, then we can go short with 100% confidence, because that's the way I usually trade with my trading plan. However, in this case, as a forex trader, you always need to adapt, right? And the situation is that the US dollar GDP news came out. News is highly influential in the forex markets, and now US dollar strength is increasing, and that's why we're seeing euro falling down against the US dollar. I also just opened up an RSI indicator, and on the 5-minute time frame, it's actually giving us a oversold scenario, which shows that probably it will start moving towards the upwards direction for an exhaustion before it continues to go down, very likely. So at the moment, you know, we have contradicting indicators definitely trending towards that downside, you know, with the moving averages, but the RSI indicator is quite slow, but still is telling us, you know, the market is currently oversold. Very likely we'll have a push towards the upside before it continues to go down to retest this area zone. So we don't know what will happen, you know, on the 5-minute time frame. Let's have a look at maybe higher time frames. I like to look at higher time frames because it gives me a little bit more knowledge. So 1 hour time frame, look, it's in the middle, right? So there's still space towards the upside or the downside. Look, on the 1 hourly time frame as well, we had peaks over here, 2 touches of resistance, also trying to break this moving average lines, which shows bearish momentum. So definitely on the 1 hour time frame, there's still space. So very likely just tells me on the 5-minute time frame, if it will push towards the upside, it probably won't be for too long. It's probably gonna have a very quick exhaustion before it starts to continue to push down, breaking this area zone, or at least retesting these area zones. So as you can see, 5-minute time frame now, bearish engulfing candle as well is forming. So let's have a look at the 1 minute. 1 minute bearish engulfing candles form. We can enter a trade. Look, RSI has popped up a little bit, so we can definitely place a trade now short. So let's do that on Euro USD. Once again, we're gonna place a sell trade, see what's up. Obviously anything can happen at the moment, since I did place this trade on the 1 minute to 5-minute time frames. They can be hectic and they can be volatile as well. 75 to 60 at the moment, but I do believe it will continue to drop down unless it currently has an exhaustion as well. If that does happen and we get the exhaustion, I'm gonna double up with my trade, and hopefully we can recover the funds, make some money, and see what happens. So this is a interesting scenario. This is the methods I personally use, so if you don't like them, that's okay. You know, you can trade your own ways, but this is how I make money on the forex market. So -2, there we go, 15.20 in profit at the moment. -5, so obviously struggling a little bit because of these area zones. As I said, struggling a little bit, but I still believe it will probably shoot towards the downside. 5-minute time frame, as you can see, bearish engulfing candle is forming on the 5 minutes, which is great. $65 in profit at the moment. If we're gonna get another 100, I'm happy. There we go, 100, 115. There we go, we got another 150 profit, and I am happy with today's trading session. Very happy. We killed it. We placed 3 trades. We profited in all 3 trades, as you can see, shooting towards the downside even more. And as I said, it will probably retest this level. And look, it is retesting this level. I told you. It's usually what happens. It happened again. I'm a little bit gutted that I didn't wait, because I would probably make, you know, a 200 profit instead of 100, but that's fine by me. You know, don't get greedy in the forex markets as well. So if we just quickly have a scan through over here what happened on the 5-minute time frame, there we go, these area zones. As I said, it will probably respect these area zones, or at least retest them. As you can see, it's currently retesting it, dropping down because of the GDP news. Trust me, fundamental analysis, you know, moving averages, maybe an RSI indicator, and just knowing a little bit of price action. That's all you need when trading forex. You don't need a lot of complicated things. People overcomplicate their analysis so many times, it's actually insane. Anyway, join my free signals group. I will open up a VIP trading signals group very soon as well. Courses like half complete as well, so soon enough. And peace out, lions. Have a wonderful day, stay safe, and goodbye.